Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another edition of Intuitive Angling here. Really appreciate you guys taking a little time out of your day to watch the video, and just heading back from mom and dad's place. Went down there to do some mowing today, and man, I've been mowing that place since I was 6 years old, so I've been mowing it for 55 years almost, it seems like. So it sort of brings back a lot of special memories every time I get on that mower there. But anyway, today's video I want to talk about, actually a friend of mine brought this up to me this morning, called me and thought it'd be a good video idea. I want to talk about what I think is probably one of the least talked about, and one of the things that's sort of disturbing to me in the fact of bass fishing, bass anglers I see, and what my buddy saw too, the fact of how many bass anglers litter out there. Throw plastic worms into the water, throw line in the water, let plastic bottles blow out of the bottom of the boat, that type of stuff. So I want to have a little talk about that, sort of give you guys my 2 cents on it, and sort of what I think about it anyway. But anyway, I think a big part of people that litter still, if people have not transcended littering, I think a lot of it is a product of their upbringing. That's one of the things I really try to teach Elijah and my kids is you don't litter. If you have trash, you throw it, dispose of it properly, recycle if you can. You do not litter. I am adamant about that, and I think a lot of people get into the habit of that because they weren't taught that when they were young. And what my friend was talking about in particular, he's a co-angler, and he was talking about all the pros and all the guys he fishes with, that he sees them, they take a plastic worm and they just toss it in the lake when they're done with it. Guys, if you are one of the dudes out there that are doing that, just stop it. That's absolutely irresponsible. It's ridiculous. No point of that, because not only is littering, excuse me guys, still coughing from the sinus infection. Not only is littering, but the plastic falls to the bottom of the lake and the fish will eat it and die. It happens time and time again. I mean, I've seen some photos of the bottom of the lake just littered with plastic worms. They swell up, the fish will eat them, can't digest them, and they die with that. That's one part of it there. But the bigger picture on there, it's just the overall responsibility we have as anglers to leave the lakes better than we found them. I'm just going to come out and say it. It's my opinion, if you cannot leave the lake better than you found it, you don't deserve to be fishing on the lake. You need to do everything you can to make it better than it was when you went on the lake. I always try to make it a point when I'm on the lake, I try to pick up trash if I can. If I see a floating can or a floating bottle and I'm working my way down the shoreline and it's next to the boat, I always reach down and pick it up. It's a good habit to get into. Be a good steward with it. Show some responsibility. In my opinion, just, I don't want to make it, so many people litter, so many bass anglers litter. I don't want to make it sound like you're a bad person if you do it. I just think a lot of times people are just not aware that they're doing it. I've had so many different times where I've seen my co-angler will toss out like a wrapper, a candy wrapper, something out of the boat. I'll whip the boat around every time. I said, I think something blew out of the boat there. I won't, unless they're obvious, I don't call them out on it, but I go back and make a point, and you can tell they're embarrassed, and you can tell they say, oh man, I didn't see that. There's no point of littering at any point. I've had a couple co-anglers with me, that there was this one pro who I won't mention. He said that there's a good friend of mine that fished with this guy. He said this guy was just throwing everything in the lake. He was throwing pork frog bottles into the lake. He was throwing plastic bags in the water. And my buddy, he sort of got a bad temper. He just started reaming this guy out. It's like, he goes, what the hell's your problem? I said, why are you throwing this stuff in the water? It's like, if you don't have the integrity and the responsibility to throw it away, put it in the bottom of the boat and I'll take care of it. So I'm pretty sensitive about that, because the worst thing that I see, who wants to go out there in a therapeutic environment of the lake and natural world and see a bunch of trash and litter on the bank? I see enough of it as is. I mean, that's a big shout out to Carl Jacobson. He, a lot of the tournaments he goes to, he walks the bank after the tournament, picks up big trash sacks of trash, And he shouldn't have to do that. If everybody would just throw their stuff away like they're supposed to, we wouldn't have that problem. So you guys out there, just a quick video, all you dudes out there that are throwing your plastic worms in the water, that are biting the heads off a plastic worm and throw it in the water, or whatever like that, just put the stuff in the bottom of the boat and in a compartment where it doesn't blow out, and throw it away when you get to the gas station filling your boat up. Also, you dudes out there that are smoking, that still smoke, don't throw your cigarette butts in the water. One of the things that I really admire that I've seen about Japanese anglers, because a lot of Japanese anglers still smoke as part of the culture, is almost every one of them will put their cigarette out and they put it in a plastic bag, not to litter the lake. Do the same thing. Show some responsibility, show some integrity, show some, some care and respect for the lakes that we have in the natural world. And it just makes for a better experience for everybody. So anyway, I didn't want to make it sound like I'm reaming you guys out, that if you're doing that, just be aware of it. It's an honest mistake. A lot of people are just not aware of it. They don't bring it to their attention. But once you start doing that and making a habit out of it, I promise you guys, you'll feel better about yourself. And try to make a goal of every day that you go to the lake, try to take more trash with you back home than you saw when you got out there. Pick up a floating bottle, pick up some trash on the bank, do something, do your part to improve the situation. And if everybody would do that, we'd have a lot more pristine environment. So anyway, guys, rant over there. Thanks for tuning in the video, and we'll check with y'all later.